Hey everyone, day 6 of the Tom Holland-a-thon, and today I will be watching The Edge of Winter. This is the first film in a while that I know absolutely nothing about. Let me see what I do know. I know it stars Tom Holland and Joel Kinnaman, and I think they're father and son, or they're related. And I feel like it is kind of survival movie. I think they are dropped somewhere in a wintry wilderness and they have to go back to the civilized world. I also know that this movie has quite a low score on IMDb, a 5 point something, so that's not really good, is it? I'm not going to prejudge it too hard. There are a couple of bad films that are actually pretty good. I actually quite like Suicide Squad, as in Suicide Squad 2016, which also starred Joel Kinnaman, so maybe he's just in a lot of bad films that I enjoy. Let's hope so. I will let you know after I've seen the film. I'm back! So I was kinda right about the plot of this film. Edge of Winter is the story about a divorced father who gets his children for like a week or something. In order to have some fun, they drive to a remote location in the woods where they go shoot a shotgun, a gun. They drink some beer, have some fun, although one of the children is not that big a fan as the other. And then while driving back, the father had drunk a couple of beers, so the children weren't as comfortable with him driving a car. So he let the oldest son, who doesn't have a license yet and probably never drove a car before, he gets to drive them home. And then they get into an accident, the car crashes, it gets stuck in the snow, and they are stranded in the wintry wilderness. And at this point the movie was kind of what I had expected. I thought it wasn't bad up until that point. I thought I kind of knew what was going to happen. Like they wander around in the wilderness, they bond over what happened to them, and eventually they become a stronger family. And right before one of them dies due to, I don't know, starvation or hypothermia or, I don't know, something else, they get rescued or something. I thought that was going to be the plot of the film. But no, instead the father leads them to a cabin in the middle of the woods, and he wants to stay there. He doesn't want to go back to the civilized world because he's afraid that the mother of his children, so his ex-wife, will take away his children because he's irresponsible and they are going to move to London. And that fact drives him crazy, and he becomes proper crazy. It's kind of weird. I think there's a decent movie in there somewhere. It's just not the one I saw. Everything felt a bit weird. The pacing was weird, the acting felt a bit weird and flat. At the end I thought they were trying to channel The Shining, but it didn't really work at all. The score and the cinematography were both quite monotonous. Joel Kinnaman was quite good, but the other actors, as I said, they acted a bit flat, uninteresting. And I mean, we all know that Tom Holland is a good actor. I think we've proved that with some of the films we've seen already. So I don't think it's the actor's fault. I think it's just that the characters are written in a really flat, uninteresting way. Like, your dad basically just killed someone in front of you. You can have a bit of a different reaction than when you discover that he was planning on driving you home drunk. So Yeah, Tom Holland's character wasn't my favorite. I saw, I saw a review on Letterboxd, which was just the highlight of the film is Tom Holland speaking one line of French, which I agree with. It wasn't mentioned how old he was supposed to be in the film, but seeing as he explicitly states that he doesn't have his driver's license yet, I'm going to assume 15, maybe 16. The reason I don't think it's older is because basically every American movie ever shows that American people get their license as soon as possible. I don't know if that's just something that happens in the films or if that's something that happens in the USA, but oh, and according to ILC.com, he is 15, so I was right. At least if that's a reliable source, which you never know. So here's the graph up until now, and it seems to me like he's been 15 for a while now. Maybe that will change? I don't know. So all in all, this movie was really uncomfortable and weird. I didn't enjoy watching it, but I'm not going to avoid rewatching it. Like, if a friend of mine says, hey, I want to see this film, will you see it with me? I'll say, yeah, sure. Why not? It's just very mediocre, and that's why I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Next episode, I'm going to watch The Lost City of Z, or The Lost City of Z. I don't know. So do join me for that, and I will see you then. Goodbye.